Well, that was about as not fun as it got as Northwestern takes their second loss in a row. Let's talk about it.
You are Locked On Northwestern, your daily podcast on the Northwestern Wildcats, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hey, everybody, and welcome in. This is Locked On Northwestern, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Thank you for making Locked On Northwestern your first listen every single day. We really appreciate it. We're available wherever you get podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you can find us. We're also on YouTube. Just search Locked On Northwestern. You can find us there. Um, wherever you're listening, make sure you're subscribed. You turn on notifications. You don't want to miss an episode. I'm your host, Carter Bird. And also, today's show is brought to you by our friends at FanDuel. The show's brought to you by the FanDuel Sportsbook, the official sportsbook of Locked On. Make every moment more with FanDuel. Visit FanDuel.com/locked on today to get started. Okay, so we know that Northwestern's gone through the grind here for the past couple weeks. They just played their fifth game in 10 days last night against Michigan. Very difficult task. They started great, won the first three. We're really rolling. Went on the road to Iowa. Iowa shot the lights out, kind of ran away with that one in the second half. Unfortunate from that perspective. We know that Northwestern had been lacking a player or two in the depth, and there's the fatigue factor, all of that since the COVID pause, since the 8 days where they were not able to practice with each other. But you get to this game against Michigan, a Michigan team that's not necessarily playing good basketball. They were 0-8 in quad one games. That was talked about a million times last night. Big opportunity for Northwestern. And you think, okay, these guys might come back, get one back after that loss to Iowa. This is a great opportunity. It's a quad three game for Northwestern. You would expect you to be able to handle business in a game like that. And you know what? Early, I thought it was a pretty even game. I really did. You had Michigan go 9 of 31 in the first half, 29%. Northwestern went 9 of 26, 34.6%. Both teams went 3 of 13 from three. They were not shooting the ball well from deep. Michigan got to the line 7 times, hit 5 free throws. Northwestern got to the line 8 times and hit 4. Chase Audige, though, is the story of the first half. And that's why really you didn't panic. Chase Audige starts the first half 0 for 9, 0 for 5 from 3, 2 for 4 at the line. He's the third best free throw shooter in the Big Ten. That was shocking to watch. When you watch that first half play out, it just was. If Boo Booey doesn't give you 11 and go 3 of 5 from 3, where he hits all of your three-pointers, the rest of the team goes 0 for 8 in that first half. It could have been a lot worse. It really could have been. On the Michigan side, Hunter Dickinson, I think, started 0 for 4, but he got rolling there. Bufkin had 10 rebounds in the first half. And this is the highlight of the first half for me. Northwestern allows 11 offensive rebounds in the first half. And Michigan, it felt like they were better prepared physically for the challenge on the glass. And that's why when you go to half, this Michigan team's not shooting well at all. The Northwestern defense is holding up. It's all good. It's all fine. But the offensive rebounding for Michigan allows them to take a 26-25 lead to half. 26-25 lead. And you feel like Northwestern played really well. You feel like they are in terms of on defense, with the exception of that one thing. They did not rebound well. And there were so many opportunities that Michigan got time after time after time. And it was frustrating because you felt Northwestern should have the lead at half. Northwestern should have had the lead at half, and Chase saw D just not going. But you felt fine down 1. You were fine. Things hadn't gotten rolling on offense yet. It's all good. You were playing well on defense for the most part. You were not winning the battle on the glass, which was disappointing. Very disappointing, but you felt things could be salvaged in that second half. Well, you come out of the second half, Chase Audige hits a shot, you get a quick steal, you get a quick bucket, you open the half up. I'm trying to see exactly what it was like. You go back-to-back buckets, and you hit a 4-0 run to open the half. You take the lead. It is 29-26. And then you just lose all composure as a team. Hunter Dickinson, they go on a 12-0 run immediately after Northwestern starts the half on their 4-0 run. Then you finally get a bucket because Boo Booey's playing well. Boo Booey's giving you everything he has. I mean, he really was for the game. He gave you 23 points, and he got nothing out of anybody else. Nothing. You got 10 points in the second, or you got actually 8 points in the second half out of Chase Audige. But Boo Booey, he was trying very, very hard. You didn't get much of anything from the rest of the team. When you look at Michigan's roster, it was a second half to really like, that might be the second half that gets Michigan up and going because it's a talented Michigan team. Hunter Dickinson, 11 points, 4 of 8 from the field. He didn't really dominate you on the boards in any capacity in this game. He only had 3 rebounds for the game, interestingly enough. Bufkin, 10 points in the second half, 4 or 5 from the field, 2 of 2 at the line, another 2 rebounds, 5 assists in the second half. I mean, you see up and down the roster, they're just hitting shots. They had guys going 3 for 3. They had guys going 4 or 5, 4 of 8. And when you look up at the end of the half, they go 15 of 27, 55.6%. They score 42 points. They go 4 of 7 from 3, 8 of 9 at the free throw line. They rebound it 17 times. They out-rebound you again. They out-assist you. They do everything in that second half. On the Northwestern side, they only turn over 3 times too. And one of those is their first possession. When they throw the errant pass that Chase Audige picks off going the other way and finds Ty Berry for the fast break layup. Northwestern on the other side, Boo Booey gives you 12. 5 of 12 from the field, 2 of 2 at the line, 4 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 turnovers in that half. But he has a good half. Everybody else can't really say the same. Chase Audige, 4 of 7, 8 points, okay. 1 assist, though. 0 rebounds. He just was off all night. That's a solid half, but his first half was so crazy brutal and abysmal that it wasn't enough. Ty Berry takes 2 shots in the second half, 1 of 2, 2 points. 0 for 1 from 3. No rebounds, no assists. Robbie Barron 0 for 2 in the half. Nicholson 0 of 2 in the half. Did grab 5 boards, had 1 assist. But he got consistently beat by Hunter Dickinson. He just would lose him. Julian Roper got out there. He hit 1 shot. He got a little banged up there at the end. Don't know what the status of him is. Brooks Barnheiser, 1 of 4, 0 of 2 from 3, 2 rebounds, 1 turnover. You got 20 points out of Chase Audige and Boo Booey in the second half. You got 6 from everybody else. 6. It was underwhelming. I mean, and I know that there's a fatigue factor as part of it, but we need to talk more about what this performance was because it was frustrating, to be honest with you. It was frustrating, and we will talk more about it here in a second. But first, we got to talk about our friends at FanDuel. FanDuel is our new sportsbook partner. And this year, the only app you need at your Super Bowl party is FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. We're really excited about our new sports betting partner for Locked On because they're the number one sports book in America, FanDuel. And if you're new to FanDuel, that's even better. They have so many great features that make betting on sports fun and easy. Download FanDuel now so you can bet Super Bowl 57 with a no-sweat first bet. You'll get up to $3,000 back in bonus bets if your first bet doesn't win. FanDuel lets you bet on everything from money line to point spreads to who will score the first touchdown in the Super Bowl. I really don't know where I feel on this. I'm starting to kind of sway back and forth. I kind of like the Chiefs now. I don't know. Just because I feel like their offense is just can be so explosive. And I think Mahomes is going to be fine. It'll be interesting. It'll be a lot of fun, obviously, as the build-up continues over the next week or so. The FanDuel Sportsbook app is safe, secure, and super easy to use. Best of all, you can get paid your winnings instantly. So join FanDuel today at FanDuel.com/lockedon to claim your no-sweat first bet on Super Bowl 57. That's FanDuel.com/lockedoncollege. Make every moment more with FanDuel, the official sportsbook partner of the NFL. Also, thanks again for making Locked On Northwestern your first listen every day. Make sure you check out our brand new podcast, Locked On College Basketball. Everything you need to know about college basketball in one place. Plus, hear from big name experts, insiders, coaches, and players. Locked On College Basketball, available on YouTube and wherever you get your podcasts. All right, let's kind of just talk about this game because fatigue factored in. It had to because, quite frankly, that was one of the most bizarre performances I think I've seen out of Northwestern this year. It was confounding. It really was. I think that there are three games that I think you can point to and be like, one way or the other, this team just got absolutely smoked in. I think Ohio State, I think Pitt, and I think this game. And this game, you're at the end of this 10-day stretch where it's been incredibly difficult. You've had to play so many games, so many minutes, and your point guard, your guards play so much. But I tell you what, it just was frustrating because you couldn't you didn't look prepared. You looked tired. You didn't look prepared. You looked like you didn't realize Hunter Dickinson was like the best player on their team. He was open all the time. And then when their three-point shooters would be open, they'd be wide open. Their best three-point shooters would be wide open. And they made you pay. And we've seen that over the course of the season a decent amount. And man, if that just doesn't get old, like the best three-point shooters on the other teams find ways to go off against Northwestern at like crazy efficiency. You had Joey Baker, go 3 of 4. I mean, it's frustrating. It's frustrating when you watch this Northwestern team that's been so solid. Even in losses, I feel like they've competed. They've played well. Even against Iowa, I thought Iowa was just a bad matchup, and they shot crazy well from the field. They were unbelievable offensively in that game. I don't know if Northwestern necessarily how much more they could have done in that game. I think it was just Iowa's night. This one, Northwestern looked tired. The legs weren't there on the shots. The movement wasn't there on offense. A whole lot of dribbling. That was talked about a lot. But you also had a team that just did not look prepared. And part of that is probably the quick turnaround. And, I mean, you have less time to prepare, obviously. But they didn't do a good job covering Hunter Dickinson. They got dominated on the glass. Some effort things. There's no flow in the offense. It was clunky. Chase Audish couldn't get anything going to save his life. He finished 0 for 7 from 3. And honestly, if your only 3 makes are Boo Buie. Boo Buie goes 3 of 6 from 3. The rest of the team goes 0 for 13. But I just I don't understand the fact there were some things that just didn't make sense to me. We saw in the first matchup against Michigan how much success Northwestern had going small with Robbie Barron at the 5. They were able to climb back in a game that they dug a hole in and take a lead against Michigan doing that. Did we really see that much last night? Did we? I don't recall it. And maybe Barron got banged up, and that's why he only played 19 minutes, which feels like not many at all for him. And Julian Roper played 22 minutes coming off an ankle injury. It just was weird. It was clunky. It just did not flow. It was not what we've become accustomed to with this Northwestern team this year. The experience that this team has, their ability to compete and claw and battle. Even when they're outmatched physically, even when they're outmatched athletically, talent-wise, this team figures out ways to hang in games. And last night was not that at all. It was ugly. A team that I think you are better than came into your place and drug you up and down the court and kicked your butt. And it was it was gross. It was painful to watch. There were at times where it felt kind of pitiful to watch. Northwestern, normally the team that protects the basketball significantly better than their opponents because that Northwestern defense is so swarming. They turned it over twice more than Michigan. Some of them were just bad. They allowed for, when you started to get any sort of momentum, you'd see a dumb possession, a bad shot, Michigan going the other way, or a turnover. Michigan had scored something I believe they had said 14 fast break points in the previous 4 games combined. They had 8 in the game. They had 4 in 2 possessions. I mean, it was, I don't know. That was frustrating. I hated watching that game. I thought it was maybe the worst game we saw Northwestern play all year. Maybe. Because Pitt, you can also say Pitt went nuts in that game. And Pitt turned out to be a pretty good team. Pitt went nuts from 3 and I think that was shock and awe to Northwestern's system. Northwestern knows this Michigan team. They should. They already played them. But out on that court last night, they looked like a team that was rolling out for their first game, or like a scrimmage against a pickup game that they had against a team they'd never seen. It was bizarre, and it was not what we've become accustomed to with Northwestern basketball here over the past few months. I don't know. Hopefully this team can bounce back, but that was not good. It was not good by any stretch of the imagination. In a second here, we're going to look at the games happening in the Big Ten this weekend. We've got a line for one of them. And we're going to look at some of the other big games around the country. But first, let's talk about our friends from Built Bar. Are you looking for a delicious treat but don't want all of the fat and calories? Then you got to try a Built Bar. We just got through the holidays, and I know my goal is to eat a little bit healthier. I think I've done a pretty good job of it. If you're like me and you're looking to eat healthier but don't want to compromise taste, then look, we've got the thing just for you here at Locked On, and that is Built. You got to try Built. With Built, healthy is actually tasty. Seriously, they're so delicious. You won't think they're good for you, but they are. Perfect for your New Year's resolution. What makes Built Bars so good? Well, for starters, they're covered in 100% real chocolate. That's right, real chocolate. And they come in unbelievable flavors like churro, peanut butter brownie, and coconut almond. And look, I'm not sure exactly how Built does it, but these bars taste like a candy bar while maintaining amazing macros. What's even better is that they're healthy. Only 130 calories, 4 grams of sugar with a whopping 17 grams of protein. And now you don't have to wait around to get a box. For years, we've been talking about ordering your Built Bars at Built.com. Now you can get them at your local Walmart or Sam's Club. That's right. Head to your nearest Walmart today, walk to the pharmacy section, and grab yourself a box of Built Bars. You can pick up a 4-bar box of cookies and cream, double chocolate, or coconut puffs. Or if you're close to your Sam's Club, run in and grab a 13-bar box with our hit flavors, brownie batter and churro. You can thank me later. Make sure you check out Built. Also, thank you for making Locked On Northwestern your first listen today. For your second listen, check out our brand new podcast, Locked On College Basketball. Experts Isaac Shade and Andy Patton bring you everything you need to know on and off the court. Let's hear from big name experts, coaches, and players throughout the basketball landscape. Locked On College Basketball, available on YouTube and wherever you get your podcasts. All right. In the Big Ten this weekend, kind of the headlining game. Number 1, Purdue at number 21, Indiana. You got to battle the bigs here. Everybody's favorite for National Player of the Year, Zach Edey. He's been a monster all year long. Purdue is a 1.5-point favorite. There's no over-under. But we're going to pick Purdue minus 1.5 in that game. Michigan State at Rutgers in Madison Square Garden. If it was at Rutgers, I would pick Rutgers, but I think Michigan State's playing some good ball. I think they get them in the very, very large venue there. Illinois at Iowa. Iowa's playing great ball right now. You saw what they did to Northwestern on Tuesday. You saw what they did over the weekend. I'm going to take Iowa in that matchup as well. Maryland at Minnesota. Minnesota's really bad. Maryland, I think, is a very, very solid, capable team. I'm going to take Maryland in that matchup to win that one. Northwestern at Wisconsin. We're going to kind of quickly run through this. Must win for both teams, it kind of feels like, because Wisconsin's having to dig out of the brutal run that they had for their season. I wonder where Northwestern's legs are. They did get the rest. This is the point where they are back on schedule. This is the last short rest game. They'll be off until Thursday, which I think is huge for them to get those legs back. But where are they in this matchup? Wisconsin at home this time. Last time out, Northwestern in Welsh-Ryan. Northwestern got the 66-63 victory. I don't know where Northwestern is coming off that game physically, health-wise, all of that stuff. I might pick Wisconsin, and I hate to do that because I believe in this Northwestern team. I just don't think that this stretch is going to do them any favors. Ohio State at Michigan. Must win for both teams. Michigan's better, so I'm going to pick Michigan. Ohio State, I don't think is very good. Michigan, I think, may have figured something out against Northwestern. Penn State at Nebraska. Nebraska's banged up. Penn State's been a solid team in the Big Ten this year. I'll take Penn State on the road in that one. Other big games around the country. There are some huge ones this weekend. Number 8, Kansas at number 13, Iowa State. Kansas is building a little bit of momentum here with the win at Kentucky and the win against Kansas State this week. So hard to win in the Big 12 on the road, though. So the line is Iowa State minus 1.5, and I'm going to pick Iowa State minus 1.5. Number 10, Texas. Of course, actually, I need to mention this. All of these lines are brought to you by our friends at FanDuel. Number 10, Texas at number 7, Kansas State. Kansas State just took an L this week. Texas is playing well despite the chaos around their season. The line is K-State minus 1.5. Give me Texas plus 1.5. I think they actually go on the road in the Big 12 and get a rare win in that setting. Number 25, Auburn at number 2, Tennessee. Auburn is so inconsistent, but they just played their best game of the year this past week against Georgia. Tennessee is human. They go on the road to a very solid, capable Florida team and kind of get dominated. And so the line is Tennessee minus 9.5. Give me Auburn plus 9.5. I think Auburn covers that. I think Tennessee wins the game. North Carolina at Duke. First meeting without Coach K or Roy Williams. Underwhelming year for both teams. They're both unranked. Just the 6th meeting, I believe, ever where both of these teams are unranked. The line is Duke minus 3.5. Give me UNC plus 3.5. I think that UNC is going to be playing with a lot of confidence from last season. Villanova at Creighton in the Big East. I had that line. I had that line up. Let me pull it back up. The Big East is a very solid league this year in college basketball. When you look at, I think you can make an argument they might have the second or third best league in college basketball, and I think that is something that's going to consistently show up. I'm going to take Creighton in that matchup. Villanova, first-year coach, has not gone well. Number 6, Virginia at Virginia Tech. Virginia is a 0.5. It's half a point favorite in that game. I think Virginia goes on the road and gets that win as well. Creighton is an 8.5 point favorite. I think they cover that. And then finally, number 12, Gonzaga on the road at number 18, St. Mary's. St. Mary's is undefeated in conference play. They've got a stud freshman guard, Drew Timme for Gonzaga. St. Mary's is a 4.5 point favorite. I think Gonzaga covers that. I'm going to take Gonzaga plus 4.5 in that game. And that kind of brings us to the end of the show here. Those are the games to watch this weekend in the Big Ten and around the country. Going to be a fun weekend of college basketball. But yeah, that's going to do it for today's episode. Appreciate you tuning in. Thank you for making Locked On Northwestern your first listen every single day. We're available wherever you get podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever. We're also on YouTube. Just search Locked On Northwestern, and you can find us there wherever you are listening. Make sure you are subscribed and you turn on notifications. You don't want to miss an episode. And yeah, you can follow me on social media at CarterBird13. I'm the host, Carter Bird. And yeah, I'll see you all next time.